so we might as well just accept it. Okay. Anyways, all right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so who in here needs a little bit of caffeine today? Are we feeling awake? Are we good? All right. Well, as you guys have probably noticed in this class, I drink lots of caffeine every day. I can't wake up without it. I've been called a caffeine addict, and my family's always like warning me about how bad it is for me and dangerous and all that stuff. So I wanted to see if all the hype was really true. So I decided to look into the facts for myself and for the benefit of the class, and I plan to provide you with the knowledge I've gained through my research. The purpose of this presentation is to inform you about the truth regarding caffeine. Today I will walk you through general information about caffeine, the associated myths and pros and cons, as well as how caffeine can even potentially affect our college careers. To begin, I need to go into greater detail about caffeine so that we can all have a better understanding of the subject. First of all, caffeine encompasses far more than just coffee. Caffeine can be found in a number of products, the obvious being coffee, tea, soda, energy drinks, caffeine pills, those types of things. Other than that, WebMD says that caffeine can also be found in pain relievers, as you see up here, as well as chocolate candy, chocolate syrup even, and even decaf coffee, as well as a number of other products. There's also the concept of hidden caffeine, because it's not required that they list amounts of caffeine in products. So even if you guys don't think that you consume caffeine, you probably are without even realizing it. So it's important to learn about it. Secondly, you should know how caffeine works. Professor James Lane says that caffeine locks receptors in our brain so that, and that those receptors are the ones that prevent overstimulation. So if caffeine is locking those receptors, then there's nothing preventing your nervous system from getting overly excited. And that's how you get that little rush of energy. How many of you guys feel more awake and lively after you take some form of caffeine? Yeah, right? So as you can see, like a lot of us do consume these products, so it's important for us to learn about them and know the facts, really. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that caffeine can be addictive, that drinking caffeine can help you sober up, or that caffeine can even be detrimental to your health. Not all of these are true. As someone who's been called a caffeine addict, it was relieving to hear that experts don't really consider caffeine to be an addiction. It turns out that WebMD says that caffeine does not simply have enough qualities to be considered an addictive substance. Also, if you guys are going to drink alcohol and then drink caffeine like coffee to sober up, you still have impaired judgment and reaction time. So WebMD actually says that that college students who drink both alcohol and caffeine are actually more likely to get in car accidents. So this is not just dangerous for your health, but for your life. In line with that, caffeine, let's see, the most common health risks I found for caffeine on WebMD says that caffeine boosts your blood pressure, causes a rise in blood sugar, and decreases bone density in women. On the other hand, I was surprised at the plethora of health benefits I found for caffeine. I was expecting it to be all negative, but in fact I found so many health benefits that I can't even list them all here. But for those of you who have allergies here, you might like to hear that caffeine could possibly reduce your reactions to those allergies. Also, there's a lot of ongoing research into a long list of health benefits for caffeine in regards to like various diseases and even types of cancers. So it might look like caffeine has just simply gotten a bad rap, but we still need to definitely take into consideration those serious health effects as well as the dangers of abusing it. And this is all too true for us college students. How many of you guys have ever tried like 5 Hour Energy or Monster or Red Bull, any of those kinds of things, if you've ever drank those before? Yeah, so those, a study done by Kathy DeBrett actually shows that, she did it at a university with undergraduates just like us, and it shows that the more stressed you are, the more energy drinks you'll consume. And it's kind of ironic because caffeine actually increases the stress response. So if you're going to be if you're going to be stressed and then cause that to drink more caffeine and then lead to more stress, it's just a really dangerous cycle. Perhaps the scariest thing that they found in this study was that the more energy drinks that you consume on average, the worse that you'll perform academically. The researchers hypothesized that this had to do with procrastination and pulling those late night study sessions for exams or projects. So how many of you guys feel like you struggle with procrastination and get yourself caught in those late night study sessions and might have to use caffeine to help you through it? Right. So it's not to say that we shouldn't drink caffeine in college, but it's more that you need to adjust your study habits to prevent the stress and late nights. Caffeine, just like anything else, is a great product, but when used within reason and moderation. So now that you know the basics of caffeine, the facts rather than myths, and how to use caffeine in accordance with your college activities, I hope you now have a broader understanding about the truth of caffeine. And I'll leave you with a quote that I really love by Flash Rosenberg. He said that I believe humans can get a lot done, and not because we're smart, but because we have thumbs so we can make coffee. Thank you.